Do you have it downloaded? Okay. Now let's go back to Medha Suktam. We have to finish the last one Rick in that. We'll do a quick revision and then we'll go to Bhagya Suktam. ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगमवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिसीदसादनं श्रीमहागणपतये नमः प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीविधि दीनामवित्रे पतु महासरस्वती नमः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः गुरुवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः श्रीगुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः देवीं वाचमजनयन्त देवाः तां विश्वरूपा पशवो वदन्ति सा नो मन्दिरेषु मूर्जन्दुहाना धेनुर्वागस्मानोपतिष्ठदयतु व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्ते पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकदातं तपोनिधिं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः शिवशक्तिसमारम्भां भास्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मश्रीनाथपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्री ललिता महात्रिपुरसुंदरी समेत श्री चंद्रमौलीश्वराय नमः श्री कांची कामकोटि पीठाधिपति गुरु श्री शंकराचार्य श्री चरणयोः प्रणामाः श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. I haven't received any audio from either one of you except for Padmaja, which I have shared the comment. What I will do is for whoever is having slight difficulty in chanting or getting the rhythm, I will have a separate one-on-one with those of you. That way, once you get to know the rhythm, how to chant, it will be very easy for you. Don't get discouraged. As I said, these are like learning swimming or cycling. It takes time for you to get the rhythm, but once you get the rhythm, then it is very, very easy. And you must be more relaxed. Don't get too stressed up. And people like me, we have been chanting for years, so don't compare your speed of fluency with us. It takes time, but once you do it, you will also get it. So Medha Suktam, revision again. Om Yashchandasa Mrishabho Vishvarupah Chandobhyodhyamritaat Sambabhuva Samendro Medhaya Sprunotu Amritasya Devadharano Bhuyasam Shariram Me Vicharshanam Jehva Me Madhumattama Karnabhyam Bhuri Vishruvam Brahmana Koshosi Medhaya Pihitah Shrutam Me Gopaya Om Shanti 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 Om Medha Devi Yushamana Na Agad Vishwachi Bhadra Sumatasya Mana Tvaya Jushta Nudamana Turuktan Brihadvadema Vidathe Suviraha Tvaya Jushta Rishirбhavati Devi Tvaya Brahma Gatashri Rudatvaya Tvaya Jushtaschetram Vindate Vasusano Yushasvadravino Namedhe Medham Indro Dadatu Medham Devi Saraswati Medham Me Ashvina Bhubhava Dattam Pushkarasraja Apsarasu Chaya Medha Gandharveshu Chayanmanah Daivim Medha Saraswati Samam मेधासुरभिर्जुषतागुं स्वाहा आमां मेधासुरभिर्विश्वरूपा हिरण्यवर्णा जगती जगम्या ऊर्जस्वती पयसा पिन्वमाना सामां मेधा सुप्रतीकाजुषन्तां मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि अग्निस्तेजो दधातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयीन्द्र इन्द्रियं दधातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि सूर्यो भ्राजो दधातु ॐ हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंसः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Here I will teach the last line, so you can practice that also. It's pretty easy if you see that last line. It is Mayi Medham Mayi Prajam. This will be sort of repeating it in the entire line. So all of you can unmute and start chanting twice, and then we'll move on. Mayi Medham Mayi Prajam. मयि अग्निस्तेजो दधातु Okay, regardless of how you are seeing it in the script, you also listen to how I am chanting it. I did not say my Agnis. It is not my Agnis. It is my Agnis. Yeah. My plus Agni becomes my Agnis. So also the dhatu. When I say to drop, you also have to drop the swara. My yag, my yag, my yagnistejo, my yagnistejo dadhatu. Correct. Dadhatu. Don't say dadhatu. Gone. Dadhatu. Correct. Mayi medham mayi prajam. Mayindra. Mayindra. Indriyam dadhatu. Here da is swarita. Please. Mayindra indriyam dadhatu. Correct. Correct. Mayi medham mayi prajam. Mayi suryo. You see how the ye is going down. Mayi suryo bhrajo dadhatu. All are udata here. Two is not anudata. So dadhatu. Here it has to be kept at the top. Mayi suryo bhrajo dadhatu. Correct. Correct. Om Hamsa Hamsaya Vidmahe Paramahamsaya Dhimahi. Tanno Hamsah Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So that completes Medha Suktam. Again, try to play the YouTube video between the classes. Try to do it on a daily basis. That way you'll be in touch. Otherwise, it will be from class to class, means it will be very, very difficult for you to learn. Now, very, very important Suktam for all of you, especially ladies. It is important for everybody, but more so for you. Bhagya Suktam. Okay. Now, if you remember when I started the class, this class, I started with the shlokam called Shubham Karoti Kalyanam Arogyaddana Sampadaha Shatru Buddhi Vinashaya. So that is a short shloka for lighting the lamp in the evening. Now, when you start a major event, like Maharudram, Atirudram, Sahasrachandi, Shatachandi, major big events, public events. It doesn't mean only for public. Even at home, when you do Ekadasa Rudrabhishekam, also you can do this. The first and the foremost activity that you must do is the lighting of the lamps, chanting Bhagya Suktam. You're invoking Lakshmi into the lamp, into the house. So when you light, chant this and light, and then do Namaskaram. As I've always said, when you're lighting a lamp, make sure that it is decorated. The lamp has to be decorated with Chandram, Kumkumam, and flower. If not, at least Akshada. Because you're invoking Lakshmi and you're inviting Lakshmi, you have to give that respect, upachara. And then when you light it, don't just walk away turning your back. Here I would like to say one thing. Spirituality is all about faith and bhakti. Many a time people use words without paying attention to the words. Like I'll say it in Tamil, like, நான் श्रद्धया தானே பண்ணினேன் எல்லாம் मैं बहुत श्रद्धा से करती हूँ सब पूजा. You don't do puja with shraddha. You do only shraddham with shraddha. You do puja with bhakti. You got what I'm saying? भक्ति और पूजा पढ़ने. एक भक्ति के साथ मैंने पूजा किया है. एक faith है, भगवान है वहाँ पे. It's not just for the sake of saying, oh, there is God, there is God. You have to literally understand and believe when you're invoking God, God is coming to your home. If you're invoking in the lamp, God is coming into the lamp. If you're invoking into yourself, God is coming into you. Very few people believe this and don't follow it. The reason I'm saying it is, once you start invoking God in the prayer area, imagine you are invited to somebody's house, and then the host and the family talk very loudly, watching TV, cricket match, and you're sitting in one corner. It's too loud for you. Too much of chaos. How long can you sit? You cannot.
Of course,
Second of
yes.
all, you're going to feel insulted. Is it, यार मुझे बुला के तुम ये क्या कर रहे हो? So now replay and visualize every event that we have attended, whether it is a wedding or puja or somebody's place. We use that for socializing. हाँ, वो पंडित लोग कुछ बोलता रहेगा अपने को. We have to sit and talk. When did you buy a sari? Where did you buy your sari? Uh, how many carats of gold is this chain? All are important data points. I'm not denying or ridiculing it. There is a place and time for both. Let us say that these are the puja events, only that time you are able to meet, like in the US, unlike in India. Fine. But do justice to the puja and then sit and talk. Or go away from the place of the mandapa and talk. So those who are chanting, those who believe and have faith in this, those who are sitting and listening to it, they can't chant, they enjoy the puja. If you din the puja and mantra and the shlokas in your gossip or loud noise, there is no point in doing it, because sound is a beautiful thing. If you put it in the right combination of swaras and matras and pitches, it is music with a good harmony. The same sound, if it is out of sync, it can become cacophony, and it is actually dangerous. It can tear your eardrum, it can drive you nuts, it can drive your brain to the limit. I'm not exaggerating, these are all real stories. So, whenever you deal with sound, a measure is always important. Don't create noise or cacophony. Create beautiful harmonics, which is what is good for you. That is why we do puja. The whole idea of doing puja is to ward off the negative energies, give a healing touch. When you sit and listen to it, you must feel like meditating, not like gossiping. Because after the puja, you will have prasadam. So you'll have, after feeding to your brain or mind, you'll have enough feed for your belly. That is the right time to sit and gossip and exchange notes, update your database, all of this stuff. So if you start practicing it and you start enforcing it, slowly this will become a culture. Otherwise, most of the time I see people sit and gossip loudly. I mean, absolutely, there's no care. So, and also the Pradhan Acharya or person who's sitting and doing the puja or Yajamana, you can't sit near the god and shout, hey, please bring this, please bring that, do this, do that, etc. For everything that you do, you put yourself in God's place. Suppose I'm seated there, invited by somebody, I'm seated there, and somebody screams at my ear, hey, do this, do that. You're going to get really mad. So once God is invoked and God is there, show some respect, be polite, be courteous, and reduce the noise. That is a very simple advice I would say, and if you propagate this, I'll be very happy.
Excuse
So,
me, please
yeah,
ask a quick. So when the god is invocated, where does the god come in the murti or in a seat? Did we keep a chair next to the mandir, or do they come in the murti? Sorry, it's a silly question, but
yeah. So, if I heard you right, your question is, where is God? Correct?
no. Like when we're doing bhakti and we've got the idols in the mandir, and you're saying that when we pray, we need to invite the god. So, assuming that we are inviting the god, do we invite the god in the murtis, or in a chair next to the mandir, or in yourself?
Okay. Very good question, and I'm glad you asked it.
I'm glad it's not
Yeah.
a silly question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, we say invite is not the right word, although you're inviting her, you invoke. Okay. So, the beauty of our system is you can invoke God into anything. It is your choice. That is what I said. The belief. You don't see God, right? But there's a belief, when I invoke her, she will come or he will come. That is the main part. That is the crux of it. So to answer your question, you can invoke into a picture frame, you can invoke into an idol, you can invoke into a lamp, you can invoke into a yantra, which is a plate, a two-dimensional plate with a special composition of alloys, or you can invoke it into a yantra, which is a three-dimensional, like Meru, Mahameru. You can invoke into yourself. When you get into Srividya Tantra, you mostly invoke God into yourself. It's a slightly different concept to digest, but once you graduate through all these things, you will understand that it is normal. The beauty is, I can take a bottle and I can invoke God into this. I'm not kidding. You can invoke God into anything. And once you invoke, you have to believe God is there in that. And you do upachara and puja to that God.
And can just a normal, like myself, invoke, or does it first have to be invoked by a priest or someone?
What is the second part of the question? You have to invoke yourself,
like
or?
for the invocation, does the invocation initially have to be done by like a priest, or can I myself, who's basic,
Okay.
can I myself also invoke in?
Right. Good question again. Now, a priest is no different than you, except that he's a specialist, which means he has learned the procedures, he has learned the mantras, he has learned the shlokas, and he or she knows how to do it. If you learn, you are equally qualified. It is like you're a MBBS doctor versus surgeon versus a postdoc. That's only the level of gradation that is different. Can you have a priest every day at your home to do your Nitya Puja? No. That is why you learn all these things yourself. But when you do major pujas, events, or samskaras, there are 60 samskaras that you do. At that time, you call the priest. And it's also a good idea to call the priest even though you know it, because that is how that community will be surviving and growing. If you don't bring them, give them business or means of income, that community will die. So they have their own place. They cannot be substituted by us. But from a practical standpoint, you can't have them at your home every day. So when you do your Nitya Puja, morning, evening, you learn the procedures, you learn the mantras, and you do it yourself.
So those have to be learned by an individual.
Yes, that is what I'm teaching you.
Oh, okay.
But tell me one thing, are we supposed to take a diksha from somebody before we start all this?
Anything which involves a Mula Mantra, yes, you have to get a Mantropadesham from somebody, from a guru, trained guru, no internet learning. As such, you should not learn anything from internet or YouTube, because this interaction is not possible if you do it in YouTube. Second, you don't know who created the YouTube and with what intent. If I have to destroy your thought, your philosophy, if that is my intent, all I have to do is to create free YouTube videos with everything wrong and make it public. Millions of followers in today's world, I can get followership in hours, millions of followers. What am I doing? It is like injecting a virus into the society. Million people have learned the wrong thing. Then they will teach another million people. So I'm successful in destroying something. Whereas when I'm teaching you like this and you're learning from me, there's enough opportunity for interaction and validation.
I wanted to ask you because see, I simply recite. Okay? I don't do any puja and that proper vidhis are there.
Once you learn it,
I don't know that.
No, you are learning right now.
What my mom told me was, since you haven't taken diksha from anybody, you don't do it. You simply recite or chant whatever you know. You want to put flowers, you just put flowers, but since you don't know the vidhis, don't do something wrong with it.
Manusmriti. Manusmriti was responsible for it.
Okay.
Patima Sutram is from Manusmriti. No offense to Patimas. They have good intent. But it is always like, I never did it, so I rather tell my daughter and daughter-in-law also to be obeying like that. First of all, it is a very, very big misconception that ladies cannot do this, cannot do that.
Not because I am a girl. She said since you haven't learned.
I'm coming to that point. So, not everybody is required to take mantropadesham for everything. As I said, mantropadesham is required for those pujas involving deep mula mantras or bija mantras. Like Chandi puja, if I do, it involves a lot of mula mantras. So you have to know the correct pronunciation, matra, swara for chanting the mula mantras. And the whole puja procedure is revolving around the use of mula mantra extensively, or bijaksharas. So for that, kaye, lahrim, if you don't know how to say that, and if you just read from a book or a PDF or listen to some YouTube video which has got audio problem in recording, you are not sure of what you're learning. These are very powerful mantras. Gayatri mantra has to be done through Upadesha. You cannot learn it from A.R. Rahman DVD. Whereas Shivam Karoti, Kalyanam, Arogyadana Sampada, there is no Upadesham there. It's a plain simple shloka. So puja can be done with powerful Mula mantras and Bija mantras, or pujas can be done with simple shlokas.
So what I do is okay if I just do it.
If your intent is good, everything is okay. Even if you make mistakes while chanting, it is okay. Treat God as your mother and father. They will never destroy you or abuse you for making mistakes. If your intent is good, if your intent is to, I have to now make life miserable for Usha, that intent is a sin. Prerda, I'm doing it intentionally to corrupt your mind, to corrupt your brain. Then that is a sin. While learning, now you all are making so many mistakes, but you're learning. Your intent is good. I want to learn and be perfect. I want to do the right thing. There is no harm. And don't live in that fear at all of anything, that God will punish you, destroy you, it's a sin, etc. It's all humbug. I'm willing to face anybody who wants to prove otherwise. Yes, Mula mantras, because they are harmonics, very complex harmonics. You can create cacophony around you and destroy something else unknowingly. So instead of doing a positive effect of creating a harmonic and neutralizing the negative energies, you may create negative energies. So you have to be a little bit careful. Or constitutionally, you may hurt yourself within by chanting those wrong harmonics or very powerful harmonics. So there is a reason why people say Rudram, Chamakam and Purusha Suktam, ladies prefer as far as possible avoid it. That is why I'm teaching all the Suktams. So if somebody says that, believe it. But no, you should not chant Vedam at all. You're a lady. You should not do puja at all. Puja is all for men. It's all wrong. Everybody must do puja. Everybody can have Nitya Anushtanam. Yes, the difference is we do puja fearlessly because we have got Gayatri Mantra Upadesham. So we do Gayatri Japam, which protects our mistakes and sins. So there is a bigger insurance policy that you have got than you. But once you chant what you are entitled to chant, we always are smart. At the end of every puja, we have something called Kshama Prarthana. Aparadha Sahasrani, we start from there. We chant the whole thing, I don't know puja, avahanam na janami pujanam. Like, I don't know how to do avahanam invocation. I don't know how to do puja. I don't know how to light a lamp. I don't know how to do a ganta. I don't know how to do the nevedyam. You are saying everything there. And you are so smart. And you're saying, even while chanting the Kshama Pranatana, I am committing mistakes. So please forgive me for those mistakes also. You don't underestimate human beings. We are actually smarter than God. We know how to please them, get our work done, get our instant gratification and results, and also say, okay, don't blame me for anything else. We are very well protected. Except that you have to learn it the proper way through a guru, and then you can confidently do it. The idea is to make everybody do it. That's the whole idea. So you can light a lamp, you can do a puja, you can do achamanam, you can do shuklambaranam, you can do pranayamam, you can do sankalpam. Everything is allowed. Yes, Manusmriti was the turning point. Whoever wrote that decided that, unless you suppress the woman, the men cannot succeed. So they changed the game, and it is still lasting for centuries. But I do believe that those misconceptions have to be removed. The fear has to go out. You learn everything and do it, no problem. You want to do Pulyar Puja, you can do Pulyar Puja. Yes, Vedoktam, if you have not learned Vedam, you cannot do Vedic way. But non-Vedic way, there are many ways of doing puja, everyday puja. And especially now, if you're learning all these Suktams, you're learning Vedam. So you know Swarams, you know Matras. So learn it the right way and chant it. What's wrong? Nothing wrong. There's no prohibitory stuff. It's all like protecting yourself. Like even for homam, ladies are not recommended to do homam. It is not like ladies cannot do homam. Lady Agni Swarupam. You are Agni Swarupam yourself. So what is the point in feeding yourself? Men are giving ahuti to Agni.
They ask the wife only to give the light.
If you understand that itself, everybody will become smart. Those who are fighting for equality and liberty and all this crap. I don't want to go political.
Like suppose if I'm doing homam at my home, the priest will ask me to light. Until I do, my husband cannot do.
Forget that. Pay a little bit more attention. Throughout the process, without you, the man cannot do it, number one. Number two, if the wife is not there, husband is not even qualifying to do a homam.
Yeah.
It is not because of superiority or inferiority.
They can't light the Agni.
Yeah. No, not only light. Even for, you want to give tambulam or dakshina to Vadyar, so Udarani has to come from the wife.
Correct.
So bottom line, everything is done by the wife. The husband is the outsourced contractor. That is the bottom line. You sit and do all the grunt work. I am approving you to do it. You are my proxy. Even Shraddham also, if you see, in Shraddham, when Vadyar makes you do the Namaskaram, it is the wife that comes first, not the husband. Because you are the person doing the Shraddham. The husband is doing on your behalf. You take 2 rice in both your hands, say Juhudi. And you give permission and approval at every step of the way. So we'll come to that later. Coming back to this, basically you can invoke into anything. You can invoke into yourself, but follow the same practice. Like if you invite somebody to your home, you make them sit, you wash their feet, you give them towel, you say, okay, take a shower if you want to freshen up. I'll give you food, tea, coffee, food. And you make sure that the place is all good fragrance and aroma, air purifier, right? You don't want to put somebody in a stinking place. That's all that is what you do in Upachara. Am I answering your question, Sonalji? So,
Yes.
take away all the fears. Learn everything. That is why you are attending all these classes religiously.
I think what Ushna Didi was saying, which I think I understood, is that chanting or doing the actual verbal prayers is equal to like doing all this welcoming and wash the murti, flowers, food. And then if we don't do that, the symbolic things on the idol, but actually just do the chanting. Is that what you're asking?
No, you can do is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Her mom has told her that unless you have been given mantra upadesha means somebody is giving you that upadesha in your ears. You are initiated. Yes, that is required for more powerful and complex mantras. That involves mula mantras.
So meaning we don't need to we don't need to welcome the gods in
No.
all these
No.
things. Just do
Okay,
chanting.
okay. Let's discuss and consolidate the topics. Now we are going all over the place. First and the foremost, there is no gender discrimination. Be very clear. There is no age discrimination. Only this person can do it, that person. Third, most of the procedures are recommendation for your safety. It is not a rule. Sanatana Dharma does not follow a rule. It gives you recommendations and it lets you live your life freely the way you want it because you are responsible for what you do. If you say, oh, Kumar told me not to do it, but let him do what he wants. I am going to do it. Yeah, do it, please. You are responsible for it. That's the way our system works. It's not like some man standing with a stick and beating you up. That's not how our system works. The whole concept of fear is brought into our system because in good old days people felt that's the only way you will be disciplined. Otherwise, you see today's DEI and wokeism. The whole idea is to challenge status quo. In Hindi, they say, in a very crude language, kiska baap ka kya jata hai? You do your mischief and go away. Damage is done. To prevent that, the fear of God was put in everything. Don't do this. There is a God. Like books, we say it's Saraswati, God. That fear is there so that you respect all those resources that is available to you. It's not because there is a two-hand or two-legged idol or goddess sitting there in that book. Right? Ghanta, do it with this. Do it with the right hand, left hand. Those are more, you have to distinguish the Sampradaya and the Vedic norms. In South, they will put 3 weeks or 2 weeks and 5 weeks. These are all Sampradayas. Even if you have 1 week, the lamp is a lamp. Got it? Imagine these were all written at the time when there was no electricity. Now I can put as many recessed light in my room as possible. Those days they were not possible. So if I put 1 week in a big room, it will be still dark. If I put 5 weeks, there will be some light. So you put yourself back into those days when the procedures were laid out. You got it? So the procedure is something that I'm going to teach you as a puja procedure. First, right now, just learn what are all the things to chant. You worship different goddesses by chanting different suktams. If you are very seriously interested, we can have a special class on the puja procedure. The structure is the same. Whether you do Ganpati puja, Shiv puja, or Devi puja, it's all the structure is the same. And the structure is also like fast food, or a 3-course meal, or a 5-course meal, or a 7-course meal, or Maharaja Thali. It is up to you. You can pick up various elements and say, I will do this in very crisp one-line form, or I will do that puja for 10 minutes. It is up to you, depending on the time, money, and resources availability. You got it? I can do Ganpati puja by saying Gam Ganapataye Namaha, chant Mula Mantra and put some Arghya, and done. Shortest version. I can do Ganpati puja for 1.5 hours. So you must learn the various elements. Then you assemble your puja the way you want it. There is a guideline. First do this, then do this, then do this. And they are into sections. Suktams are usually used for Abhisheka. Like you do Abhisheka, that is when Suktams are chanted. Or you do Archana with puja. You understand what I'm saying? So it has a certain place in the puja structure. So this is the main body of the puja. So you're learning various sukta. This is the very main body of the puja. Then I'll teach you the previous Purvanga, Uttaranga, etc., which is very common for every god. Except that the Devi name will change or god name will change and so on and so forth. Got it? So you can invoke into everything. You have to invoke the god, upachara, bring life. After invoking doesn't mean that there is life. That is where you do prana pratishtha. Okay, now.
Mr.
Hmm.
Now, if you write the lamp, if you are saying Shubham Karoti, is it the Lakshmi is invoked in that lamp?
Yes.
That's all.
Lakshmi is invoked in the
Is
lamp.
there any other?
That is what I said. Just by chanting this, you are invoking it. Because while chanting, you are doing the dhyanam and avahanam of Lakshmi, right? Please come. Or I can do 45 minutes of dhyanam, avahanam with nyasam, etc. And at each stage, prana pratishtha, I can do as elaborate as possible. There's no problem. Or I can take the Ajya Deepam, right? Whenever I take the Ajya Deepam in doing a Vedic puja, not the Tantric puja, Vedic puja, I will say Asmin Deepe, Asmin Deepe Shri Mavahayami. That's it. One line. Mentally I've thought, please come. Come into the lamp. I'm lighting the lamp and I'm showing the lamp. Or I can chant Shubham Karoti. Or I can chant Bhagya Suktam. Or I can do a full puja itself for the lamp. Understand the elements, the sections, and the structure. Then it's easy for you to assemble the puja the way you want it. Got it? Yeah. Shall we proceed? Fortunately or unfortunately, this class became a very discussion type of class. I hope people enjoyed.
Sorry, we really digressed the whole.
No, it's okay. The whole idea of the class is this. It's not like, I have a fixed agenda that I have to put something in your head on this day. That is not the intent of the class. The intent is, are you learning? Intent is, are you enjoying what you're learning? The most important part is, after learning, are you able to do what you want to do confidently? That's the bottom line.
So while chanting this suktam, we can put flowers to the god.
You are expected to do flowers. You are expected to do abhishekam. If you have a yantra or if you have an idol.
Idol is.
If you have an idol, you keep the idol and into that gomukha and stool and keep a water collecting patra. And abhisheka doesn't mean buckets of water. You can take uddarani and do abhisheka also. It's all here. Do you always eat 7-course meal? No. You eat snack. Sometimes you just take 2 biscuits and walk away. So it's very similar. Got it? So you do puja for your own purification. You do puja for your place where you live. You do puja for the community that you live. You do puja for the city where you live. You do puja for the state. You do puja for the country. And then, like what we do, Sahasra Chandi or Laksha Chandi is Loka Kalyanam, like entire universe. So that is where you need more people and you chant bigger things and more times and you do it for 11 days. Then you take care of everybody. When you're talking of the country, then you take care of everybody. All the planets that are around us, we can't ignore them. Navagraha Devata. So we take care of everybody. So if you go into Srividya Tantra, you take into Tithinitya, like the phases of the moon, Rashi, Nakshatra, Yoginis. That's a more elaborate and very detailed puja. For that, you need to learn a lot, commit your time, practice a lot. Then it is fun. So let us come to elementary level now. Back to Suktam. Om Prataragnim Pratarindragam Havamahe Pratar Mitra. See, you have to synchronize your timing. Okay, synchronize your timing. When I am saying pratar mitra la 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 la, you can't say pratar mitra. No, that much of synchronization has to happen. Okay, so pratar mitra. Correct. Varuna. Varuna. Pratarashvina. There has to be energy. Okay. Also, I'm not mocking. Let us say you are invited to somebody's house and somebody told you they prepare good food. So you haven't had food at your home, no coffee also. And you walk into their house and they say, sit here. I'm coming. I'm sure you would have had coffee at your home, right? If somebody talks to you like this or treats you like this, how offensive it is, right? So while chanting, show that energy and that bhavam and that bhakti. You should have, Adarashvina. No, Pratarashvina. So the way I chant it, even a person who is sleeping will wake up, right? That energy and passion and bhakti has to be there, right? Not like, oh my God, this is like 1 hour of torture for me. Right? I hope you remember the way I did home in Mansarovar, right?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
So if all those people have to be kept awake, 68 people have to be kept awake, you imagine how much have to be chanted.
yeah, the attitude and the air, and you still did it, yes.
Yeah. So, Pratarashvina. Good. Correct. Pratarbhagam. Pushanam. Brahmanaspatim. Pratas. Not pra. No. Pratas. Correct. Pratas. Somamuta. Pratas somamuta. Correct. Rudragam Hovema. Gum is Sudata, not Swarita. Rudragam Hovema. Rudragam Hovema. Correct. Pradarjitam. So, la, 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 la. G is Udata. Oh. She is like the first bencher, no? As the teacher is teaching, she will say, "Oh, let me also practice it." I'll not. Yeah. It's, that's in a way very good. That excitement and passion is very important. It's infectious, but also try to capture the nuances that I'm giving you. So that will help you in trying to retain wherever you're making mistakes. So pratarjitam, that G has to go up and tam has to come down again. So mentally you'll have to visualize that. So pratarjitam. Correct. One more time. Correct. Correct. So this you have to remember when you're chanting. Now when I'm teaching, you're repeating it properly. But let's say class is over, everything is done. Now you're again back with your PDF in front of you. If you don't remember these things, the tips that I gave, you will continue to make mistakes, and then it becomes a major project to unlearn wrong learning and then put the right learning into your head. Bhaga Mugragam Bhaga Mugragam Ga Swarita Mu Anudata. You have to go all the way up and then down. Bhaga Mugragam Huvema Vayam Putramadi Teryo Putramadi Teryo. Correct. Somebody did Swarita for Ma. That is why I was waiting for who that person was. So you'll have to be very careful where you're giving the Swarita. Right? Putra mas udata. Putra di. Di is Swarita. Putra di. Teryo. Now correct. Vidharta. Correct. Correct. Adrishchidyam. Vaidyam. Why Swarita there? Adrishchidyam. Dyam is different from Dyam. Adrishchidyam. Okay, I think we'll stop here because the call is going to end in about a minute. We'll continue this in the next class. Replay the YouTube video, see what questions you asked and what answers you got. Take notes. That way you make it a part of your life and live that life the way that you have been sort of understood what the system is, right? All good?
Yes.
Okay.
I have one small suggestion. If possible, can we have one Sanskrit line below that the English line and then Sanskrit that way? So that, sometimes I tell you why I have a practical difficulty because my Sanskrit